Welcome to another video in the data migration playlist. In this video, I will start demonstrating the different options available to create financial accounting documents using LSMW in SAP S4HANA or SAP ECC, and I will start with a demo of the Enjoy transactions. The Enjoy transactions are FB50, FB70, and FB60. We also have FB75 and FB65. So these all have the same concept. I will demonstrate today the transaction FB70, which will also cover FB75. So this will cover how to mass upload customer open items, invoices or credit memos without reference to sales orders. If you would like to have something with reference to a sales order, then this is a completely different story. For now, we are only posting in financial accounting without any references. The same concept that I will use with accounts receivable open items can also be used for GL accounts and for vendor open items. Now let's start with this demo on my SAP S4HANA 2023 system. The same demo is also applicable to SAP ECC. I will start by opening transaction LSMW and let's create a new project. So the project this time I'm going to call it YT_demo. Subproject, let's see TC for transaction data. And object, now I'm going to record FB70. So I will call it FB70. I already explained all the basics in the previous videos, so I'm going faster this time. If there is anything you don't understand, please check the other videos in the playlist. So here will be a YT demo. Transaction data, and FB70 is for customer open items. Enter. Define object attributes. We are doing batch input recording for transaction FB70, so I will select batch input recording, go to the overview, create a new recording. I will call it FB70. So this is customer open items FB70, owner, and then the transaction code is FB70. Now we start inserting the different selection criteria we want. So the first thing is the transaction. So here I have to open it and select. So this way SAP will record it because I would like to upload both invoices and the credit memos using the same program. And then I insert the customer, so 20,000. Invoice date 26/06/2024, reference, and then the amount. If you would like to include taxes, then you can click here. And then we have the currency, EUR. The GL account I will use on the other side is 911101. So this is my initial balance upload account. And here we have debit or credit. I also have to select it. So this time I have an invoice. So I have debit to the customer and the credit to the GL account. And the amount is also 10,000. And then we can scroll to the right and insert any other fields we want. Just to show you an example, I will insert the assignment. And then we have different other fields here. You can fill whatever you want. Once we are done, press enter. And then save. So these are the different fields we have recorded. Now I will click on utilities or edit, default all. So now we have the list of business transactions. So R is for invoice. We have the match code. This is the customer number, date, reference, posting date, document type, amount in document currency, and the currency key. And then we have the first line details. So we have the general ledger account, amount in document currency for the first line, and the assignment number. So this is screen SAP F05A 1200. As you see, we have the screen repeated again here, and we also have the same fields. So the same fields we have here are repeated. So SAP recorded them twice, maybe because I pressed enter. But anyway, we don't need this repetition. So what I will do here is I'm going to reset all of these other fields because we don't need them. So for each field, we click on reset. And this means they will not be included in our mapping because we already have them included here. This is a repetition. So now these are the fields I have. And I'm going to save this recording, go back and choose the recording here. Save. Now let's go back. And here I will go to object overview and let's copy our fields. So these are the fields we have in our recording. So Ctrl Y. and choose all the fields, Control C. Now go to Excel and let's post the fields there. Now let's go back to SAP and continue our LSMW program. So the second thing is define source structure. So you define a source. So this will be AR open items enjoy, or AR open items. Here enjoy FB70. Save, go back, define source fields, click here. Now we insert here the fields for our source structure. So I'm going to copy from our target structure. So we have the same names. Type. Now the type we have to switch to match the types we have in SAP. Let's first take the length. Field label. So I'm going to change the label a little because this doesn't make sense. So I will make it invoice / credit memo. Or maybe document type. No. Let's say invoice, yeah, / credit memo is good. CM. And then we have here customer. Invoice date, reference document number, posting date, document type, amount, and document currency. This is, I will call this header amount. And this will be line 1 amount. So these are the descriptions. I'm going to copy this and paste in our source structure. Now the remaining, what we have remaining is the type. So here if we open, so character is C. So whatever we have here as character in the Excel, we should switch to C. So this will be C and C. Then we have invoice date. And here we need to be very careful when we are dealing with dates. Okay. So the invoice date, the format that is used by SAP, that SAP understands best, is year, month, day. So this is what I use normally in my source structure. So here date in year, month, and day format. This is DYMD, so I'm going to switch this to DYMD. Then we have character is C again, date is DYMD again. So we have invoice date and posting date. This is why we have 2 dates. Then C. Currency is an amount field. Now let's go back. If we check the amount, this is also something you need to be very careful with. So the amount fields, we have different types of amount fields. So we have amount field in this form, 1234,56, or we have 1.234,56, 1234.56. Now the one that you need to use is the one that has no commas. Be careful because we are going to use comma separated file, CSV, when saving our upload template. And if there is a comma in the amount field, the Excel will interpret it as a different column. So you need to have a numbering format that has no commas. You can use dots for decimals, and for thousands, we don't need any separator. So here, the one I use is this one, amount 3, because it has 1234.56. So this is the decimal separator is dot. We don't have any commas, so this will not cause any issues when we do the upload. So amount 3 is the type I'm using. Now let's go back to the Excel. So for any currency field, I will use amount 3. Currency key is C because it's a text. General ledger account is C. And then line 1 amount again is amount 3. And then assignment number is C. So these are the data types or the field data type. You have to be very careful with these. And let's see. So here we have the invoice credit memo is C, customer C, invoice date is okay, posting date is okay, document type, header amount is okay, line 1 amount is okay. So now we have our source structure. So save. Let's go back. Save again, yes. Now define structure relations. We already have our target structure assigned to the source structure, which is fine. Now let's go back. Define field mapping. So there is nothing special here, but you need to be careful about the date field again. So let's see how this works. So first I'm going to assign automatically all the fields. So auto field mapping, edit all target fields, also edit non-initial target fields, match fields with the same name, This time I'm not going to use the initial field because we are creating accounting documents. So we are not changing existing data. So there is no need to include the only if source field is not initial. If you don't understand what this is, then you need to watch the previous video without confirmation and then click on OK. Now the date that I want to include here. So first in the source structure, we had the date that we will put in the Excel sheet because the source structure is reading from our Excel sheet. But then here we are working with the mapping to the target structure. Now I want SAP to read the date from the Excel as year, month, day. So this is what I will include in my Excel sheet. But when SAP is inserting this to the target structure and to the system, I want it to be in day, month, year, because this is my user settings in SAP. So in this case, I need to choose the second one, day, month, year. I'm not going to do this. I will keep it as internal format, year, month, day, so we can see the error together and we can handle it later, okay? So now in my mapping, I'm going to move the date as year, month, day from the source structure to the target structure, and then it goes to SAP. Now click on OK. We have the field twice, so we are asking the same question twice because there are two date fields. Okay, again, auto field mapping complete. So now if you check here for the dates, so we have BL date, invoice date. So it is transferring or moving the date from the source structure to the target structure without any changes. So it will be year, month, day to year, month, day. And then the rest of the fields, we don't have anything special. So we also have the amount. So if you check the amount field, for example, amount in document currency, it has transfer, move, translate value to output format. So SAP is automatically transferring the value from 1234.06 to the SAP format. We don't have to worry about this. It happens automatically. Now let's save and go back. Define fixed values. I'm not going to use this step. Then we go to specify files. So now we need to build our Excel template. So I will take these and I will move to another sheet, transpose. So the first thing I need to mention here is that in the first row, in the last video I said that we cannot have any text. We can only have the technical field name, and this is wrong. We can also have text. So thank you for leaving me a comment with this. So in the first row, we can include anything we want. We can have text, field technical name, anything you want. SAP is not going to check the first field. So here we have the invoice or CM. So invoice is R and CM is G, I think. We can check from the transaction. So let's just go here to FB70 again. So in FB70, the transaction R is invoice and G is credit memo. So let's go to our Excel. Now R is invoice. I'm going to upload one invoice and one credit memo, so we make sure that the program is working correctly. And then here we have the customer. So customer is 20,000. 20,000. Invoice date is, let's say, 2024. So remember the format. It is year, month, day. So 2024-0601. 2024-0601. So this is 1st of June 2024. Reference, I will just put REF. We can leave it empty if we want. Posting date, again, it will be the same as the invoice date. You can have a different date if you want. Document type, so I can say, for example, this one is DR and this one is DG. So DR is invoice, DG is credit memo, so we can choose any document type. And then we have header amount, so this will be 2000 and the second document will be 3000. Currency key for both of them is EUR. General ledger account is 911101. Line 1 amount, this one will be 2000 and this one will again be 3000. So now the debit is equal to the credit. And the assignment number is assignment 1 and assignment. So this is my upload template. Now I'm going to save this in CSV format. Now the file is saved as CSV, and let's go back to our LSMW program and specify files, legacy data, choose the file, name FB70, and then here we have the delimiter as comma. So this is for the comma separated file, CSV. And then we have field names as start of file. So this way SAP is not going to consider the first row that has the column headers. And then click on OK and save. Now let's go back. Assign files, already assigned. Go back. Read data. So we can check if SAP has read 2 records. So yes, we have 2 records, all's good. Now let's check the display read data. So if I open one of the records, we have the invoice credit-memo R, customer is okay. We have here the date, 2024-06-01. So this is what I inserted in my Excel sheet without any conversion. Now let's convert the data and see how SAP will apply the conversion rules. So next, let's convert data. Okay, so we have 2 records converted. Let's go to display converted data. All right, open one of them. So this is how SAP converted the data. So the data is still the same because in our conversion, we said that the data in the target structure will also be in year, month, and day. And this will cause an issue when we are processing the batch input. And then we have here the amount. So as you see, the amount SAP has converted from 3000 to 3.000,00. So SAP automatically switched it to the user ID settings, because in each user ID we can choose what is the number settings. And then let's go back, create batch input session. And this will cause 2 issues. So the first one is we have one missing field that we didn't record for the debit or credit of the line item. And we have the date field. Now let's see how this will work. Keep batch input records, execute, and let's go to run batch input session, process foreground. So first issue is, if I click on OK, SAP does not understand the date. Why? Because in my user ID settings, the date format is day, month, year. And here is SAP is inserting year, month, day, because this is what we have in the target structure, and this is not understood by my user settings. Let me show you where are the user settings so we have more details about this. If I go here to SU01, or you can also go here to System, User Profile, User Data. It will take you to the same place. And go here to Defaults. Here we have the decimal notation, so this is the number format, and we have the date format. So this is different for each user. Now my user is set as this, 1.234.567,89. So the decimal separator is comma, and the thousand separator is dot. Then we have the date format is day, month, year. So whenever I'm inserting in transaction, this is what SAP is expecting, day, month, year. But now because I'm processing the batch input with year, month, date, year, month, day like this, SAP is not able to understand the date. So the first thing we need to do is in our conversion rules, we need to switch, to make SAP switch from the source structure to the target structure format to match my user settings. So now I'm going to cancel this batch input session, and someone left a comment on the previous video that in order to end the batch input session, I explained that we can go here to System, Use Services, Batch Input, and cancel. But also he shared another option, which is /BEND. So thank you for sharing this. Don't hesitate to leave me your comments with any information you want to add to the videos. This way we can all learn. So if I do this, SAP will end the batch input session. Now let's go back to session overview. So this session ended with an error. Let's go back to LSM and correct the date format in our target structure. So go to field mapping and conversion rules. And for the date, so we have invoice date. I will click here and click on rule. So this will be transfer move, enter. And then SAP will ask what is the date format in the target structure. So this must match my user settings. My user setting is day, month, year. So this is what I will choose. Okay. So now as you see, SAP added some coding to convert the year, month, day to day, month, year. It is very easy to understand, but it looks complicated at first. Now, if you look here, what SAP will do is, so FB70 is my target structure, and AR open items is my source structure. So FB70 BLDAT, so this is the date plus 0, so starting from 0, will take the value that is in the source structure starting from 6. Now the source structure is what? Year, month, day. So you have 2024, 4 digits, month, 2 digits, 02, so now we have 6, and we have the day. So the day is whatever comes after the 6th place in the date. So SAP will copy the last two digits and put them as the first 2 in my target structure. So this is the day. And then for the month, SAP will do the same. So it will start from 4 because we have the year, which is 2024, 4 digits. And then whatever comes after the 2 digits that come after the year are the month. This is why, are for the month. This is why SAP will pick them as the month. And then the year will be the remaining. So this is, you don't have to understand the code. SAP is doing this conversion automatically. We will do the same for the invoice date. So posting date or posting date. So posting date again, select the posting date field, go to rule, transfer, okay. And the format is day, month, year, okay. So we have to do this for every date field you have. So now here we have also the conversion, and we have the conversion here, so all is good. Let's save. And now let's convert again our data. We don't have to read the data because we did not change anything for the source structure. We only need to change the conversion. So I'm going to convert the data again. Let's go back and go to display converted data. Now if we check one of the records, so here we have the date is 01/06/2024. So see, in the source structure it is year, month, date, year, month, day, but in our target structure now it is day, month, year, because SAP switched it based on our conversion rule. And this will be okay when we do the batch input session. So now let's go back and create batch input session. So this will be _2. Now let's run the batch input session and the process foreground. So this time, as you see, we have the date 01/06/2024, which is okay. So we don't have any issues. It passed. Then we have this warning message, okay. And the due date warning, so I need to press enter. Now we have the first entry is okay, so all right. And here we get this message, no batch input data found for Dynpro SAP F05A 1200, and this is expected. So remember when we did the recording and I told you that SAP re-recorded the same fields again. So I removed the assignment. Now SAP is still expecting something to be inserted for the same screen, something like this. So this means something is wrong in our recording. So let's go back to the recording and try to fix it. So first I will cancel this session. So /b end and go to LSMW. And let's see if we can fix it. So I will go here to define object attributes. Yes. Go to the overview, open the recording. And here we have this second screen. So as you see, they are mapped to target field, to source fields. Although I reset the mapping at the beginning of the video. This can drive me crazy because, you know, I am sure that I have reset these, but they came back. So something is wrong here. What I'm going to do now is I will delete these fields from the recording completely. So let's click here on, let's go back, click on change. And here I will delete the fields. So delete the Dynpro field, delete. So I have deleted all the fields here. I will save, go back. Now let's go again and just make sure that they didn't come back. So now we don't have any fields in this screen. All good. Let's go back, save. Just in order to be sure, I'm going to read the data again and convert again the data. And go here to create batch input session. So let's create another session, _2 again. And run batch input session. Process. Now let's see, enter, all good, due date is fine. We don't have any issues and it's posted fine. So this is an example of some of the errors you can find while doing the recording and how to handle them. We have posted one document and this is the second document. So this is the credit memo. And if I click on OK, all right, okay. Now this one has an issue. Why? Because you see here the balance is -6,000. Why we have this is because here this one is credit and this one is credit. This is a credit memo. So the customer's credit and the first line is credit. So actually the correct thing is to have this as debit. But it is not because in our recording we didn't have this field. So now what I need to do is to go back and make sure that this field is included in our recording. So let's go back. So again, I will terminate the batch input session. This video could have been much easier if I didn't show these errors, but this is how we learn how to actually use a transaction. So /b end, session overview, and then let's go back, to LSMW and go back to our recording. Yes, overview, click here and click on edit. And I need to include a Dynpro field. So to do this, I will click here and then go to edit, add Dynpro field extended. And we need to get the field name. So let's switch to another screen here. So this is FB70 and let's get the field name. So help here. So the field is this one. Now let's go back, paste the field here. One very important note here is to add the number of the line item between brackets next to the field name. So here, for example, this is the first line item, so I have to add between brackets 01. You can see this is exactly the same as what we have in the other fields related to the line item. So the amount, assigned number, general ledger account, they all have 01 next to the field name. If you forget to add this 01, then SAP wouldn't know this value relates to which line. And then when you do your batch input, SAP is not going to update the field at all because you don't have the line item number. So this is very important. So here you add 01 for the line item and then you click on OK. So now we have the field added here. So here is the amount. And here we can stop on the field and click on default. And this will give us the name. So this is debit and credit indicator. So now we added the field in our recording. Let's save. The next step is to add it to our source field, add it to the mapping. So let's go on. So I will go back and then next is define source fields. So here I need to add this field. So I will click here on the structure, click on the table, and here we have to add it. So the field is chkzg underscore 01. And then this also will be a character and it will have only one digit. So this is debit line, debit/credit line. Save. So we have created a source field to match the target field. Next is we are going to maintain the field mapping. So if you go here to the mapping, we have the field added here. So I'll click on it and then click on add source field and map it to debit credit line. So now we have added it and this is a transfer move. So everything is fine now. Let's save and let's go back. Next, we need to add this into our Excel template. So let's go to our Excel template. So here I have my FB01 structure. And I have, let's add the field here. So this FB01, this is for the next video. Let's stay in FB70. So for FB70, we have here assignment number, line 1. So I will add it here, shkzg underscore 1. And this is debit credit line and C and 1. I have to keep this file updated because this is my reference for the future. So I always keep it up to date. And then here for the FB70 update, we have here the debit credit line. I already added the column, but let me add it to the right place. So it is the last one. So now I have added the debit credit line also here. So next is we go back. Let me just save this and save it in CSV. So now we have defined the field mapping. We have added it to our Excel file. We already specified the files before. So what we need to do is to read the data again. So read data, execute, and make sure that the field has been updated in our records. So we have two records. If we go to display data, all right, here we have in the line items. So we have debit credit line is H. So the value I have here is from the Excel sheet, and H is, so now for the invoice, debit, the DR, invoice means the customer will be debit, so the line item will be credit. So here we have the value H for credit. And for the credit memo, we have the customer that will be credit. So the GL should be debit. So we have the value S. H and S is for debit and credit. You can see this value if you go to FB70. So if I open here /O FB70 and check the values available for the field, you will find H and S. So you see here, we have H for credit and S for debit. So this is how I know the values that I need to fill in the Excel sheet. Now let's go back. So now this is correct. And I will go back and convert the data. Go back and create batch input session again. So this will be FB70 underscore Z. And let's keep it and execute. Then run batch input session, FB70 underscore Z. Now let's process foreground process. And let's see if we have any errors this time. So, okay, all is good. First document was posted. And as you see here in the second document this time, we have the debit credit indicator is updated. So this is why the balance is 0, because we have debit equal to credit. So now this is working fine. Let's continue. And the session is done successfully. So we don't have any other errors. So now you see how we can handle having additional screens in our recording that we don't want. So when I did the recording, we had some screens recorded twice, and then this caused an issue, and we saw how we can handle this by deleting the fields. And we also saw how we can add an additional field that's related to a line item into our recording in case the field was not captured, as what happened with the debit and credit indicator. We also saw how to handle the amount fields and the date fields. Now we understand how to use LSMW Batch Input Recording to mass upload financial accounting documents using the Enjoy transactions FB50, FB60, and FB70 to upload GL documents, customer and vendor documents. We also understand how to handle the difficult fields, so I'm talking about the amount field and the date, because these cause a lot of issues while using LSMW usually, but now hopefully you understand how to handle both of them to avoid any errors. If you would like to check the LSMW program I just created, or to create your own program to test this process, then you can get access to my SAP S4HANA 2023 server by going to galalconsulting.com/SAP access. I will leave you the link here. I hope you found the video useful and interesting. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave me your comments, share the video with your connections. Also check the channel membership program if you would like to support the channel and get access to the member exclusive documents and videos. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon.